Come along as I investigate whether I can actually locate and hang on to the hope that what I have lost can be rebuilt right now. When we discuss loss, we typically consider the concrete items: our health, our relationships, our money. But what about the intangible things? Our sense of identity, our motivation, our happiness. These are the things most likely to hurt to lose and the toughest to recover. But what if I told you that, regardless of what it is or how long you have been without it, there is a promise that can make everything you have lost whole once more? Everybody has gone through loss in some capacity. We have lost confidence. We have lost our sense of direction. We have lost beloved ones. We have been left bereaved, damaged, and hopeless. We have felt as though we cannot get out of a rut. We have felt as like we are drowning in a sea of hopelessness with no rescue visible. We have felt as though we are navigating a black forest without any illumination to lead us. And we have felt as though we have nowhere to turn and are utterly alone. We have tried to cover the emptiness with transient remedies like distractions, addictions, transitory pleasures. Ultimately, though, we are still left with that gnawed sense of emptiness. Still, we find ourselves wondering, what's missing? That thirst for something more still permeates us. We have asked God to help us to rebuild what we have lost. We have begged He to restore what has been taken from us. We have asked Him to mend our brokenness, to heal our wounds, to give us direction again. And occasionally, it seems as though He isn't paying attention. It occasionally feels as though He isn't even there. But supposing I told you, God is listening constantly. Imagine if I told you He's always present, even though we can't see or feel Him. Imagine if I told you He promised to bring back everything we have lost, regardless of its nature or length of absence. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten, the Bible states. This is a promise for emotional and spiritual, as well as physical matters. He restores my soul, says Psalm 23. This is a promise of spiritual rebirth, not only a literary expression. God promises to take our wounded, broken souls and make them whole once more. He promises to take our broken dreams and create fresh versions once more. He promises to take our fractured lives and bring them whole once more. I would like to tell you a narrative illustrating this promise of healing. This is the narrative of a mom who lost her son in a catastrophic tragedy. She felt loss and hopelessness left over her that she felt she would never be able to conquer. She started to feel His presence about her, though, as she called out to God. She started to get His calm and comfort. She also started to undergo a wonderful healing as she turned her suffering and loss to Him. She felt whole once more. She started to feel as though she could once again breathe. She started to feel as though she might once more live. God promises us kind of restoration like this. Only Him can bring the kind of healing that is required here. This kind of repair can turn our life into something we never would have imagined possible. What, therefore, does all of this entail for each of us? God can thereby return everything we have lost, and regardless of the length of time we have been without it. God may thus make us whole once again, regardless of how damaged we are or how fractured our life seemed to be. God may thus bring hope and light into our life, regardless of our level of despair or the seeming darkness of our situation. The most remarkable aspect of this promise of restoration is perhaps that it goes beyond only recovering what we have lost. It's about rediscovering yourself. It's about finding entire again. It's about realizing the persons God designed for each of us. I thus wish to confront you leaving today. No matter what you are going through, I want you to be challenged to keep to this promise of recovery. I want you to be challenged to believe God can and will rebuild all you have lost. I want you to be challenged to post your own tales of recovery in the space provided for comments here. And I would want to encourage you to accompany me in my next video, where we will review more inspirational and upbeat material. I appreciate your viewing